Echo, the next map. Pretty decent map for Terran here. INnoVation just has to stabilize, play a normal, powerful macro game, get it to 3 bases, try for that parade push.
He may have a bit of an easier time in this map. That natural is going to be much easier to defend. He can just kind of get into the big game a bit easier. Let's see how it goes down now. Game 2 on Echo.
Push it, push it, push it, push it, push it.
Up here in the top left, the Zerg player up a game, 1 game, and he will move on to the round of 8. It is Life.
Completely dominating that game 1. Here we go on game 2 though on Echo. Different story, different map. Things won't go the same way, I'm sure. Bottom right, INnoVation, the robot.
He was the machine before. Now he's the robot.
Keeps evolving, man. Well, here we go, Valdez. Now, I wouldn't be too shocked if we did see that Reaper opening. INnoVation would keeping things safe. Would be a good idea, but looks like it might be a CC first. Queuing up a lot of SCVs.
Not scared even after that first game.
He ain't afraid, man.
See if he just makes it at the top once again. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, if he makes it to the bottom, the Overlord scouts it, and then problems occur. But look at this early pull from Life.
Safety first, I suppose.
Hey, man, when you're ahead, just play a straight-up game. He's going to go on the low ground as well.
Wow.
Overlord's going to scout this out pretty quickly on. Going to give Life a lot more confidence to go for more of a greedy build, maybe even make some lings early. Harass.
All eyes on these 2 players. Life has always got his pins there from his wins.
Yeah. Wear them with pride. GSL wins. They're big wins, man.
Gigantic.
Same with Star League these days. I'll tell you what, these things are stacked.
Oh, yeah. Both these tournaments are just insane.
Highest level in the world by far.
Oh, yeah.
You win one of these, you are a badass.
You think about who's won so far over at SSL. We got Maru and Classic, both champions.
That's right.
We're looking for another one. Already Maru's out.
You know, Dream is fiending for it, man, after getting to the finals twice. He's next in line for a win, but hard to say.
It should be him.
It should be him, but can he keep it up for a 3rd time? That's true consistency. If he manages that, then he is a god in his own right.
Yeah, it's nearly Sue level. If he wins, I'd say it's just up there with Sue.
If he wins, yeah, man. He surpassed Sue. He did what Sue could never do. And that is actually close a win.
We do have 2 lings out here for Life. Only going to commit to 2.
Just try and harass. Maybe if you can get an SCV kill, that's pretty huge. Don't think so, though.
Well, he does have to defend there with the SCVs, but he will. He'll be fine. Especially once another Marine pops out.
No, I wonder what Life wants to do this time around. I think maybe that 2-base Mutastar would go down pretty nicely. But he does have the option to play a little bit more greedier as well because of how early that CC was. CC first gives you a lot of time. Generally,
he's going to go for speed again.
Yeah. Usually if Zergs can scout out the CC first early enough, they can just double hash before pull, but because Life went for that pull first for safety, doesn't have that option.
INnoVation making that wall really early this time.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for it.
I think we just might see 2-base meter. You know, we're seeing a lot of gas being mined already from Life. Unless he's going to throw down a Baneling Nest sometime soon, it should be a lair and a couple more extractors in the natural.
Yeah.
There we go.
If we saw him try to Baneling bust, I would be just so surprised.
It wouldn't really make sense either. It's just
Yeah.
lost the timing for it. The only time you'd want that is if you went for like 16 gas, 15 pull after a hatch burst. Or
There's
like
already like 2 Hellions out on the map, 2 more.
or like a 14-14 or something crazy that just is insane.
He's going to make one defensively. Looking a bit like last game, just minus the early run by.
Yeah, the early damage. And that's going to change things up a lot. It certainly put Life in such a good place that he had every answer needed in due time. This time he's going to be a little bit more pressed for it. And Viking is going to come out, but the Overlord's going to see everything he needs to see as well. Perfect scout.
Yep.
Oh, run by, looking for it. Cleans out of position here. This could do a lot of damage.
Ooh. Even that one Hellion in the front is so low. But he's not going down just yet. Already 3 kills.
Drones are lining up here. If he can get to the ones around the spawning pool.
Gonna block there with the eggs.
Oh, man. Decent placement so far with the drones. Not really finding too much damage.
Ooh, one more shot just still wasn't enough.
4 drones for that. That is not bad.
That scan, though, sees the Spire. I think he could have assumed that anyway, just based on the other things he saw, but...
And look at this. Mech Terran is the choice. That is cool.
Oh, yes.
Armory going down. 2 more factories. Life's got to identify this ASAP, so he does have the right tech in place for this, as well as the bases. He needs the economic advantage early as possible.
He's going to see another Hellion pop out. Will that tip him off, though?
Completely empty bunker as well. It might make Life a little bit more paranoid. He's like, well, where are they? Are they on the map? Are they looking for my third base? Are they going to be dropping?
Thor to begin. The right response. 2 Thors. Should keep them very safe against the early mutas from Life.
Yeah, and this is where, as a Zerg player, you want to have that Roach Warren upgrading speed as fast as possible. So you can roach switch it and just go do a timing attack while there's still only Thors on the map. Deny that third base for as long as possible. Get into a great momentum and constantly keep the mech army switching its composition. And he does actually change it to the range upgrade, so he's identified it is mech at this point. Down goes the Roach Warren.
Yeah. He's got all the tools on the way, but will the timing line up? That is a question.
Yeah, that is the biggest question. I mean, mutas are coming out now, but so are Thors and Vikings. INnoVation is in a very good place to deflect this. But this is only an opening for Life. It's going to be everything else that counts.
This is going to be very interesting. We'll see if INnoVation can make this work on this map and then maybe use it again for Terraform. He looked very good on Terraform when he played against Rogue, although Rogue kind of making some mistakes of his own.
Yeah, here we go. He's going to actually see everything like, oh, 2 mutas go down for nothing. Life's going to have to make that switch up. There's no way mutas are going to be doing damage against this army anytime soon. Burning very well there. Should be looking for a 4th sometime. And INnoVation just has to sit back, kind of enjoy where he is right now. Enjoy he made it to this state without taking any damage.
Just kind of macro out, make a bunch of units. You see the Vikings now escorting the Hellions.
They're actually bullying the mutas at this point. It's so funny.
But at the same time, with the Spine Crawler, the Root just coming out, it's going to be too much. Just going to have to back off. We see a pretty fast Hive now.
Yeah, he wants to get that pretty soon, considering, look at the army already from INnoVation. You know, tanks 2 at a time on the way, Hellbats 2 at a time. He's making this terrifying army that's going to be able to move across the map a lot sooner than he'd expect. Already at 129 supply. Maybe looking around 150, be looking to march out before the creep gets too out of hand. He has enough units to kind of bulldoze everything.
Is there a chance just with these, or rather with the Hive, that he just goes for Vipers? I mean, there's already 5 Vikings in the air.
Yeah, I think it's going to definitely be Vipers from here. He needs to have that blinding cloud for when this attack comes. He has to have it ready. The scariest thing of all, he's like really against the clock at this point, which is why we see him not invest much into droning up a 4th base yet, just units upon units. He knows that INnoVation is just sitting there cooking up this huge army.
just kind of worried for that engage. I mean, INnoVation even adding 2 extra Vikings, so going to go up to 7. As long as he can get into a decent position and snipe the Vipers down, it's really it's going to be pretty scary. Life's going to have some good control there in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, if he has enough to start one-shotting Vipers before the fight begins, that is a huge, huge problem for Life. Oh.
The Roaches were thinking about it, but they paid the price.
Yeah, look at this 4th base going to be going down. Going to be a planetary. It's going to start pushing Life to do something soon, because Mech Terran on 4th base means they can max out very comfortably.
That's not that late of a 4th base either. It's pretty nicely timed.
Yeah, 14-minute 4th. The army he has right now, closing in on max. These Roaches are going to come in here and create some havoc. Or not.
Yeah, he's got 2 tanks in position. Going to start that planetary too. I wonder where he's going to look to take this fight.
Maybe in between the 3rd and 4th. Hard to say. It's not a good place though. I mean, look at this positioning on the tanks. What a nightmare. Oh man. And if these Vikings find picks before the fight begins,
they're looking for him. I think INnoVation did a good job reading exactly what Life was going to go for here. I do see more infestors being added into the composition. I think 2, 3.
yeah,
Let's add a little bit to this.
it's going to be a pretty big, pretty important tool when they're up against this many Vikings if he wants to fight them later on. Especially if he's going to be going for Broodlords.
You see those Blue Flame Hellions cleaned up.
Still 2 Vikings at a time being made at this point. Maybe INnoVation has a little bit of a inkling that it might just be Broodlords is the next option here. Hellions just get out of control when they have these upgrades in Blue Flame. 2-shotting drones like that. And 1-shotting drones with multiple.
Some Hellbats looking to do some damage too that they're going to be taking out. And he's maxed out at this point. He could just even be trading for some extra Vikings.
That might just be it. It's 2 more Vikings, 2 more tanks. And here we go. Oh, Vikings looking for these hits on the Vipers.
Ooh. Quite close there.
Yeah, more and more Lings being made as well. I do like that Life invests in Lings. You know, he does a lot of great work, like tying up tanks with these Zerglings. Well, we found the Hellion run by.
I was going to say even chasing down some Hellions.
Oh, big one here though. Nice, Fungal. Not going to kill all of them there.
Yeah, it's going to help out a little bit, but Blue Flame Hellions are also good against Lings. Eventually the Roaches are going to have to help out here.
Oh, here we go. 8 Corruptors on the way. Big scan into the main base. Is it going to find the Greatest Fire there?
No, I think it's still at the natural.
Currently sitting at 12 Vikings. That's a pretty healthy number to fight just about against anything.
That's not bad. We saw INnoVation in that last game. We saw him playing that game, just very good at getting the exact right composition. And he's always like in a good position to hold off any kind of attack. Like just the right amount of tanks here. And he's got enough at his 4th base as well to hold off the aggression. You see that go down pretty nicely. He's always just got great positioning and just great, army composition.
Yeah, you got to admit too, though, this map is fantastic for meching. Like, if you get 4 bases on lockdown like this, how are you ever going to engage into that? It's almost impossible, especially when planetaries are set up as well as sensor towers, turrets, and tanks.
He's even looking for this 5th base, and I don't know if Life's going to be able to stop him. He can delay it.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
That might just be the point of contention for Life. He's like, okay, I actually have to do something now. I have to push this. I cannot let him get on a 5th, because that just means the Terran is actually going to start building a huge bank.
Fusion core and 4 starports on the way.
Oh, man, look at the scan. He sees the Broodlords. Biggest scan. Yeah, he knows the army that's happening.
He's got some Corruptors to help, and he's looking for the Fungals too. Gonna go for a lot of Abducts as well, straight underneath those, or on top of those Hydras.
Not a half bad engagement there for Life. Sitting at 8 Broodlords right now. Oh, enough Vikings still there to one-shot them.
Getting a lot of Corruptors to help. Wasn't really able to land too good of fungals. I think he got one that hit like 2 Vikings, but that was about it.
Yeah. If he does get that one perfect fungal that's going to hit all of them, like he just wipes out the anti-air, things get a whole lot easier.
6 Vikings at a time.
Yeah. Oh man, so many Starports. 2 more Broodlords as well.
Life just sitting back here on 5 bases. Once again, looking to get more and more Broodlords. He goes up to 9, as well as 13 Corruptors to support.
Not really busting out the upgrades, which I'm kind of surprised from Life. I think that's a huge mistake. He'd really want some more flyer attack damage, man.
Yeah.
It's like something that's so important, especially in Corruptor versus Viking, Corruptor versus Battle Cruiser, and even the Broodlords trying to do damage to Thors. All of it is so important. There's +2, finally.
Maybe this is a bit of a mistake, as you were saying. I don't know how Life's really going to be able to attack that 5th. Already setting up a ton of missile turrets and just the sensor tower right there. You can see everything that's coming in.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Melt like butter at this point, but here we go. Let's stop the engagement. Looking for the fungals. Look
Even
at that spread.
Corruption there on a bunch of the Vikings. And the Hydras and the Queens are able to get under it, but there's just so many tanks behind this.
Yeah, there's way too many still. He really needs to find the engagement with the
fungal,
Broodlords.
but not much to follow it up.
No, and he is taking so much damage from these Hellions.
He just lost 2 bases worth of mining instantly. That's the same Hellions.
Is that like 5 Hellions that did all this? It's like,
yeah.
And it's going to be even more. Look at this.
There's no defense here.
This is the problem when you make this kind of army that is so slow. You can't deal with the Hellion Rumpies like this unless you have like sufficient static defense.
That's really what he was missing. He's now down to 42 workers. He's taking all the bases, but he doesn't have the workers to mine it. And
his bank is gone.
Yeah.
His supply is much lower than INnoVation's at this point, and INnoVation is still cranking out units. 3 BCs now. That's going to be even harder to deal with.
And he's got the air army to support it, even. I mean, Life, he has made a very large number of Corruptors, 25 in total. So it definitely will help out, but at the same time, having all those tanks on the ground is a big boon there for INnoVation.
Just means that Fungals can't really get near the Vikings. Hydras can't really get near the Vikings or battle cruisers. And it really just comes down to the Broodlords have to be on top of the tanks, tying them up with Broodlings, and everything else has to go his way. But just some simple focus firing from INnoVation just stops that from happening. It's such a hard composition to fight into.
Now, INnoVation eventually does have to make some kind of move here. Maybe to take another extra base down here in the bottom left. Deny Life. He'll use these tanks to clean it up, and even if he does lose them all, I don't think it's too big of a deal. He's trying to make other units at this point.
Yeah, looks like more Vikings. Still one lives. 26 kills on that one, by the way. Wow.
That one tank is just going to take out the hatchery.
I don't think there's any way that Life can stop it unless he has like a ton more wings. It's kind of sad, but it's still going to happen.
Maybe he'll look to fight INnoVation once again, but I mean, there's another CC going down in front of all the missile turrets, which have 15 tanks behind them.
He doesn't even want to kill it. He's like, you know
Tank
what?
gives up halfway.
So you know what? I'm bored.
I'll come back later when I feel like it again.
And Life sitting at 56 workers to the 62 of INnoVation, and INnoVation behind this is like so many mules going down. So the economy is ridiculous right now. And he's just turtling up. You know, he's in no hurry to draw this game. To end this game.
That tank just wanted to share the fun with his friends. Now the rest of the tanks are going to clean it up.
All right, here we go. Some pressure at the front here, but look at that concave of Vikings.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
That's
Even
spread.
if he does get like a couple of fungals down, is it really going to matter?
Not really anymore. I mean, it's still going to do damage. It's still going to tie them up for these Corruptors to do something, and here we go.
Tons of fungals coming down on pretty much all the Vikings in the air. He's focusing down the Broodlords pretty smartly here. And eventually these Corruptors in the air will go down, but nicely done by Life as well, focusing down all of those VCs.
Yeah, he's crushing everything and such a huge number of Corruptors. He should be able to wipe out every single Viking as well. He's going to really reset the count here, make things a lot easier. But he's lacking the anti-ground now, and we see units going towards another base.
Even these tanks on the ground are going to do so much damage. You see like a small bank for Life, but he's still deciding what to make. It's going to be Lings and 6 Broodlords.
Wow. We're seeing 3 more BCs come out for INnoVation. He's really spending his bank too and has such a supply lead right now.
He made 8 Vikings at a time earlier, so now he's going to make 4 more. And he's really just committing to that. He knows that, you know, Life took out a lot of the air there. So he's got to be careful about these Broodlords coming in as the answer for Life. Oh, Parasite.
Huh. Well, might as well try something at this point. you're pretty far behind. The economy is kind of in shambles after losing those bases. Just lacking so much in drones as well. No bank behind this. And inferior composition next fight for sure.
He's trying desperately, but INnoVation is already maxed out. Pretty much only air units as a response.
He's really suffocating Life at this point, and it's not even a hard chore. Life is so defensively with such an immobile army, and all INnoVation has to do is move tanks around the map and kill hatcheries. And now a Hellion run by is going to do even more through one of the few mining bases to the north if he chooses to avoid fighting.
Life never even retook that base.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
Oh. Fungals. Fungals that he would probably need to use. Oh no. For the fight, but more drones.
Oh, the drones are lining up. 10 of them go down. He should be able to lock down these Hellions now, but another big pull. Life needs to be mining right now. Loses another base up there. INnoVation's like, I'll take this base down to the bottom left. Scans the burrowed Zerglings.
Probably like, what? I'll take it. Slow and painful death for Life.
That's the name of the game for Mac. There are all the mules dropping down, just newly taken base. We've got a giant bank of gas. Actually going to even delay taking the gas there at the bottom left base.
Yeah, you'll always have Ravens to go into. Always one scary thought, you know, you can invest in a lot of Ravens. We'll see more of that European style mech. I'd love to go to the Mass Ravens.
Life loses the base again. He will win that fight though. But INnoVation already setting up. I love this just slow turret push. It's so brutal.
Yeah, there's very little that Life can do. He's kind of just waiting for maybe the perfect engage, but with no bank against a mech like this, you're always going to take some real damage to even the Yamato cannon and like just simple fighting. You're never going to get away with a clean fight. You're always going to be trading blow for blow here, and without a bank that Zergs need against his style, you're just not going to have anything to back it up.
Once again, noting the upgrades there. Lack of +3, as well as even +2 armor for his flying units, compared to the 3-3 mech of INnoVation. Covers all his units. This is what I was talking about, just turrets everywhere, planetaries. Like, look at this. Like,
this is actually ridiculous, but I guess it works.
48 turrets.
Sure, why not?
You can scan infinitely as well.
Yeah. Very painful death here.
I mean, what options does Life have at this point?
Pretty much none. I mean, he's looking for a fight, but beyond that, he doesn't have anything really to back it up. He can remax with Zerglings. He can, you know, just try for a fight, but it almost doesn't matter. I mean, look at the bank of INnoVation right now. Look at all the turrets and planetaries and tanks and everything else that he has to go through to even get to that the starports, which is where he wants to be. And Life's had enough. Looks like he's just going to go for one big attack.
Look at that concave of Vikings.
That's a
Here we go.
beautiful spread. Oh, even
Dodging the
staying
Vikings,
out.
or dodging the fungals. That one is a pretty good fungal.
Pretty good, but is it enough?
That is the question. The Corruptor's going straight ahead. The Thor's on the ground, even helping out here. A couple of Queens and the Infestus on the ground, desperately trying to help and get the fungals down, but all of the Corruptors going down, getting melted. That gigantic number of Vikings. GG. It's too much. INnoVation will win game number 2, and it will once again come down to a final game.
That was a scary max style, fellas. Very scary.
INnoVation looks so dominant with that style now.
Yeah, he looked like a beast. And Life's just like, well, I guess that happened.
He is so frustrated.
That map is a hard map to kind of fight that on. You know, very easy to defend 4 bases, which is what mech players love to see on a map. Deadwing, which is a map we always used to see all the mech on.
Yeah. Well, do we see it again out of INnoVation on this last map, Terraform?
I didn't think so. I think this would be a bad map for him to try it on.
He's done it before.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be up to Life to really challenge it this time. You know, he didn't really go for any sort of early aggression, which may be his mistake. So, especially against someone as greedy and as mechanically heavy as INnoVation. If he's allowed to get into 4 bases like that, his mech is scary.
That was terrifying, man. Can only imagine being Life in that booth.